Well, good morning. It's Jim Owens with Performance Strategies Group, coming to you from a dark and dreary day in I'm in my backyard today rather than be in my office, trying to get what little bit of exposure to the outside I can get. Going for a walk seems a little risky today for fear of being struck by lightning. One of the things that I thought we could talk about today were the issues related to being productive during this time when you're at home working at a distance. You know, I work out of my home, and when I first started, it was it was interesting. It felt strange to not go to an office every day. But one of the things I found that was really important was to have a routine, to be sure that I got up at the same time I would normally get up and go to work, if not earlier, and to kind of identify the 2 or 3 to 5 things that were the most important for me to accomplish during the day. When we do our coaching work, we tell people that it's really important to find the 3 or 4 or 5 things that will really move the needle in your business and in your own personal productivity during every day. If you get those things done, you'll be much more effective. We also coach people about time blocking. Now, that's really hard right now because you're working, some of you, with your spouse nearby, with toddlers and infants and teenagers who are constantly interrupting you. And time blocking is especially difficult right now. But if you can get agreement with your family to give you a certain period of time to get your work done, I think you'll be much more productive and effective. You'll feel better about yourself and about your day. Somewhere along the way, I heard that work expands to fill the amount of time you have to do it. And that's been true for me. It has been a challenge sometimes not to go down the rabbit hole of social media and just to be distracted, to move from one thing to another. But after a tough day at it yesterday, I've gotten back on track here today. I think it's also important to make sure that you're paying attention, as we do with our coaching and organizational clients, to your own sense of resilience. And so how do we coach people about resilience? We talk about your heart, your mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being. And it's hard for fear of getting struck by lightning, right, to go for a walk right now. But that doesn't mean that you can't find something to do in your home, to find something that, whether it's stretching or exercise, using your equipment that you haven't used in ages. You can do all of those things that you wouldn't normally have done. It's particularly important to stay focused on your own spiritual well-being. And we don't tell people what your spiritual well-being is defined by. We don't tell them that. We say, look, what fills you up? Is it music? Is it reading inspirational material? Is it going for a walk when it's safe to go outside and not at risk of being struck by lightning? We tell them that if it's music, whatever it is, to make sure you have time in your day to invest in yourself for your own sense of resilience. And of course, the emotional part of what we coach has to do with our relationships. And it's really difficult right now to stay connected to people that are important to you. My mother lives a couple hours away, and while I'd love to race down there and spend some time with her, I'm concerned that if I happen to have the virus and don't know it, that I might give it to her, which is the last thing that I want. But I have had a lot of conversations with her. I've had a lot of texts with her, and I challenged her. I said, let's do FaceTime, and she didn't like the thought of using FaceTime. So, Mom, you're off the hook for that. But Sunday night, I had a little virtual cocktail party with a bunch of friends on Zoom, and we had a blast. And many of us said that was the best we'd felt all day after connecting with friends. So find some creative ways to stay connected. If you're a salesperson or a business owner, one thing you really want to do is stay connected and focused with your clients. It's going to be very difficult to do that and without a sense of desperation, particularly if you're a salesperson, because I know your revenue opportunities have have plummeted in many regards, unless you're in a very specific industry niche. So I've been texting clients, I've been texting coaching clients and organizational leaders that we do work with. I've sent out a few emails, well, not just a few, a number of emails to connect with them. I've made some phone calls. I think that's really, really important right now. They'll appreciate it. They really will. And I know I have appreciated it when friends have reached out to me. If you've got something extra, share with other people. I live alone. I tend to buy in bulk. So if you need something that I have and you live in North Alabama, just let me know, and I'll be glad to try to drop it off at your doorstep. I'll be glad to share it with you in any way I can. I live alone, don't need that much extra stuff, and that's not why I buy it. I just hate to run out of stuff. I know many of you, if you've walked out of the Walmart or Target or wherever lately with toilet paper, you probably felt like you're carrying a bag of gold and needed to guard it with your life. But now is a time to be kind to one another, to encourage one another, to smile, and also to pay attention to our own physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental well-being. We can come out of this stronger if we'll do so. We can come out of this without fear. I guess the last thing I would tell you is don't read the news, not too much. Do it every now and then just to check up. If you haven't noticed, the headlines are written to make you afraid. They're written to make you read or to make you angry, and none of us can afford that right now. It's just a bad strategy for coping. Your anxiety level will go way down. The last thing I'll tell you is this. I guess this is really the last thing. When we talk to people about their physical well-being, we talk about moving around, getting sunlight, eating a good diet. Vitamin D is one of the most important and essential vitamins that you can get. Now, you can overdose on vitamin D, so don't take a boatload of it with your multivitamin. But it can affect your mood, it can affect your productivity, your clarity of mind, and you can't get it on days like this, and it's hard to get it by going outside in normal ways. So order something from an online retailer. Don't go to Dollar General or Walmart or Target. I guess I'm shouting out a lot of retailers, but you can order it from them. And you should do that and get on that right now if you haven't been doing so. Hey, I'm Jim Owens. If you want to find more about us, you can find us on the web at psghsv.com. You can find us on LinkedIn and Instagram. You can find some of my silly stuff on Jim Owens Writes and Speaks on Instagram. And you can also find it on my Facebook page, where I've actually recently given some yoga instruction. If you haven't seen my video, you should see that. It's really important for you about your physical well-being to exercise that, and I think you'll get a kick out of it. So have a great day. We'll talk soon. I'm Jim Owens.